Good morning again, everyone. Now I've got a much more energy that matches the room. I'm Nicholas Johnston. I'm the publisher of Axios. Thank you so much for joining us today on this beautiful Cannes day here at the Mastercard Villa. We're very excited about our partnership with Mastercard this year. We've got a great day of programming, all of it possible thanks to their support, and they're hosting us. And so I'm very excited to welcome, to continue the conversation from this morning to the stage, Mastercard's Head of Brand Strategy and Innovation, Cheryl Guerin. Cheryl, hello. Good morning.
Very relaxed.
We could just sit here and stare at the ocean for 15 minutes, but no, let's. We had a fascinating conversation with Raja this morning. I think we can continue it now with you. And maybe the best way to start is just tell us a little bit about your role and the work you do at the intersection of brand and innovation.
I have such an interesting role at Mastercard. I play in the space of managing our brand and making sure it's beautiful, consistent. It continues to be modernized. We just created a haptic brand, as a matter of fact. You know, a brand you could feel, trust, that, you know, the reinforcement of trust. And then on the other side, you know, I manage a number of global functions from media to research and digital. But importantly, I manage our marketing innovation. And that means we have to create a culture of innovation. Our group is innovating every day and coming up with new ideas, but we also have to spread that. No single group can actually be the only innovators, right? So it means creating a culture for our marketing organization around.
Dig in a little bit on a culture of innovation. What was fascinating earlier today, Raja declared advertising dead. He declared consumer loyalty a myth. So I think clearly with that framework, you've got to innovate. And so tell us a little more about how do you approach that? How do you cultivate that amongst your team?
Yeah, so one very big culture of learning, and not just sitting in a room and learning, but hands-on actual learning. And what we do is we do a number of these innovation challenges. So we'll pick a topic, we will inspire around that topic, we will bring in experts, people will get to learn, they'll get some hands-on experience related to technologies and others, and then we send groups off for these innovation challenges. And the beauty about this is you could do this, but part of the problem when you do this and you actually don't follow through, that's when the culture falls down. Right. But we've actually executed a number of these over the last couple of years, and so it creates this excitement, fun, cross-pollination of people around the organization.
Something that Raja talked about that was very interesting earlier was how we're deluged with noise, I guess. 10,000 impressions like a day, which is just incomprehensible to even think about. Tell us a little bit how you think about then the personal connection. How do you break through noise like that?
I think, and by the way, he talked about the attention issue, and then you might remember 2 ads that you've seen at the end of the day, and you still, only a small percentage will even attribute your brand to the messages they remember. So it is a challenging environment. If you create meaningful value for your customers or prospects, and you surround them with things that matter to them, then you have a chance of them remembering, and the more sensorial it is. So an example of that might even be, we launched Small Business AI, and it was based on an insight, right? Only 25% of people have access to an actual mentor, small business owners. Right. But if they do have a mentor, typically the businesses stay open 5+ years. And so we leveraged AI to bring new value to small businesses. We brought in real mentor voices, our own tools and expertise around cybersecurity and more. And it really is human-like in its responses. Can't take away a human, but
as a human, I endorse that message, yes. Well, no, that's a little bit what Raja talked about also as well, is where it's complementary to the human. No one's looking for a completely AI experience. They're looking for, can a human do more with that experience? We'll come back to AI in a minute, but I want to stay in the human world a little bit. The haptic brand that you mentioned, we're talking about experiences. I can't resist asking more about that. How does it work?
Okay, so when we think about creating a trust system with our brands, and in fact, where everything is going with AI and concerns about authenticity and transparency, trust coding is going to be more important than ever. And so we've been on this journey. Actually, this logo that you see, we dropped our name, several years ago. People recognize that. In a mobile screen, sensory, it shows up better this way, more modern and clear. The logo actually gets bigger when you take the name off, which you could barely see in digital. Then we launched a sonic brand. So 6 notes. You'll hear it now when you check out at taxi cabs or at the point of sale. And it's actually a system, but the point of sale confirmation, and particularly in mobile purchasing, what an important cue to know that you checked out and you checked out safely, it went through. Third, okay, sound isn't always on.
Before we get into that, lived experiences here, that moment when you touch your credit card and you're like, did it work?
Exactly. So it's an immediate
cue. And so a
cue.
signal to know that it worked and
It's
it's
a
worked the right way.
And a peace of mind that it went through safely as well. And then you take it further. Sometimes, and by the way, in environments like smart speakers, et cetera, this becomes even more important. You may not see that logo, but then you need to hear it. Now with haptic, Here we go. So now, look, everybody's got their mobile in their hands, right? And so on this one, it's basically we took our 6 notes of our sonic brand, we converted that into a set of vibrations, and it actually, you can feel that set of vibrations, that becomes your confirmation.
Very specific type of vibration. So again, I know the thing I was waiting for has happened and it worked.
Exactly, that cue. And again, trust coding that this happens, right? We're now at over 1 billion locations with our sonic brand too, so it's just getting out there in a large scale way.
Let's stay on real world examples. I think that's really fascinating. Are there any other specific campaigns that you think about that really fit into this experiential framework of winning over fans and consumers?
Yeah, so we're constantly looking at what's next in experiences, where should we be going, what are the consumers thinking, and we were watching this trend happening, this blurring fiction with reality, I call it. So you saw everybody wanted to travel to where the White Lotus, hotels are and things of this sort. And so what we did is we were watching the fandom occur around Netflix shows, and we did a partnership with Netflix. And it's Netflix experiences. So now we have our restaurant in Las Vegas with Netflix Bites, where you could have a unique experience as a Mastercard card holder there. Right now, you could get the Squid Game experience, inclusive of the jumpsuit, the sweatsuit that they wear in the show.
That's an interesting experience.
You're going on a scavenger hunt around Las Vegas, and then you're getting to see the premiere of the show before anyone else does. And it ends peacefully, no murders at the end.
Peacefully, no murders. There's your Cannes quote.
As well as Netflix houses. And we opened up priceless restaurants around the world, too. So these are all ways you can experience the brand in a way that fits to your passions.
This fits in a little bit to what Raja was saying earlier, too, about, if you're reading something, you're getting one sentence. You're hearing something, it's one sense. Talk a little bit how you think about, all 5 senses, how to continue to explore that, and are there, neat things that's still over the horizon, you think, to lean into that kind of idea?
So we'll look, if I take culinary for a second, we have these restaurants all around the world, and that gives us a perfect location to actually stimulate all the senses. So you come into one of our restaurants, we have a Mastercard scent, right? Passion and optimism. You can check it out, or it's around the corner. So you're getting the scent, you get the sound. So we not only have that sonic brand as a cue, we have a whole host of hundreds of tracks of music, and we fit the genre of the restaurant with that sound, that melody that's playing. If we create it, we did one time a restaurant in Spring Place in New York City, and we recreated a restaurant from Zanzibar, and we had in the windows the projection exactly the view you would get if you were in Zanzibar. So we literally recreate the feel of the wind. It's always how do we hit on all of these senses?
This is so much more in depth than, it seems like you're really pushing the boundaries of what a passive experience advertising and marketing was?
You know, like think of the Sphere in Las Vegas for a second, right? I'll picture that. It is absolutely multisensory. It is so memorable. If you go there, you will never forget this experience. And this is what we're doing. You know, there's no missing attribution to the brand if you have an amazing experience that a brand enabled for you. When we did, Raja mentioned the mascots on the field, right? One time what we did too, or multiple times in Europe, we actually put vests on the kids and the parents. So when the kids went out on the field, the parents could feel the heartbeat racing of their children, okay? So the point is to just amp up, imagine how you feel knowing that your kid is beyond excited. So now I'm seeing them, I'm watching them, I'm hearing them scream, cheer for their favorite players, and now I'm feeling what they're feeling.
And this must be, I think, like a way to break through. When we talk about I'm being deluged with 10,000 things, what can actually get through to get people to pay attention? It sounds like this, right? Like, do you have any like trend data or like thought bubbles about like how much more impactful it is when you take that approach?
Oh yeah, our spend goes up, by the way. We've seen our spend go up. We do this with our partners too. So not only do we do this for our brand, we partner with all of our, think of all the Mastercard co-brands that are out there, like an American Airlines or the banks we work with, and we do this on behalf of them too. And we track and see actually spend lift when anyone experiences, and we see the retention that it creates. Even if you send an invitation, you get a lift in that. So just the goodwill of enabling me understanding your passions and inviting you to something special gets a lift in you.
Kind of important, like as fun and awesome as this is, like it actually is a good business plan as well, like it works.
Listen, we are B2B2C, which is an interesting business. So we take our brand, we made our brand a competitive advantage. Us being a brand of experiences, our partners want this. We create platforms for our brand that then get distributed through our partners, and it's a part of every pitch that they do. They know when they're coming to Mastercard, their cardholders, their end customers are going to get a great experience.
So I promised I'd come back to AI, and we have to talk about AI here. So go a little bit deeper then on that. Like, how is it a tool? How will it change all of this? And how will it hopefully not replace us as humans?
We've used it in a number of ways where it augments. We had something called the Mastercard Artist Accelerator. We just closed out another season of that, where we actually provide a music pass to come to several learning experiences. And then we provided an AI music studio. Not everybody has the money to get access to get into a studio. So we wanted to give them a capability to replicate what it might be in the studio, but they're the artist, it's their songs they're creating. The AI is just a tool to accelerate that path. And so that's one example. For our own teams too, just the productivity that it enables. We have research, our insights engine enables me to ask a simple question, get answers from our research and third-party research from around the world. It makes slides for us. It cuts down the productivity. And we even have a sonic AI. So our hundreds of tracks that we created with humans, based upon the video I upload, it can actually adjust the tracks, combine, make a new one, and lay it into the song.
It's like all these tasks that would take humans hours and hours and hours and hours. Now, a couple seconds, so the human spends more time on I guess the creative innovation. We're thinking about what's next.
Like our agencies are our partners, and our brand lives on creativity. So we want big creative ideas. That's going to come from human beings.
Before we get the hook here and I pass the mic for the conversation to continue, let's end on one thing again. Raja left his thought for people to take away from the week here in the Riviera. What's the big thing on your mind? What's the one tip for folks who are here today?
So one thing I always do when I'm here, make sure you see the creative, because sometimes we forget that we're here to be inspired by all the creativity because we're overscheduled. And then I always take it back. So I'll do a session with our teams and the rest of our colleagues that can't be here and make sure they see the work and are inspired by it. And that actually
Bring
brings more
Cannes back
innovation.
home. Yeah.
Take Cannes, berets and all, rosé and all. Let's go.
Rosé and all. Cheryl, that's an awesome note to end on. Thank you so much for being here. Huge thanks again to Mastercard for hosting us today. And I'm going to bring the mayor of Cannes, Sarah Fisher, back up on stage to keep things going. Thanks,
Thank
Cheryl.
you so much.